Alright, so in this room that holds the Triforce of Courage, it's basically the Ancient Cistern demon part, the dead room, or the death room. It's pretty creepy, actually. And there's a Triforce, doesn't really look like it, but we have to get there, and in order to get to that spot, would you look at that? We got ourselves a locked door, and we have ourselves a small key! You know what we do with small keys? We use them! Alright. Before we go in there, I just want to pull my bow and arrow because we're going to be using that a lot. Alright, so in order to get the Triforce of Courage, we're going to have to go through a little bit of a gauntlet of enemy battles. So this one's really just annoying rather than difficult. We are on a really tight bridge with two iron-shielded moblins. So in order to get rid of these guys, I really suggest that you don't do the whole strategy of running over their shields and getting behind them, because since there's two of them, the other moblin will just basically attack you, and you could possibly end up getting trapped in between them. So I personally, for this strategy, would just wait for one moblin to continuously attack you, and then just shield guard them, and then just get out of their way. Yeah, I think this bridge is much narrower. Wow, that's a weird word. It's much more narrow than before on other bridges. Alright, so if I can get through this without falling off the bridge, then I'll be really pleased. I mean, I won't take damage, but it's just a waste of time. Alright, I did it! Oh! Speaking too soon! Just another downfall of my overconfidence. I seriously thought I was going to be doing that perfectly, but I guess there's no such thing as perfect. Alright. So on to room 2 of the gauntlet, and this is where we need to use our bow and arrow because there are numerous bokoblins in here, including some bokoblin archers. The nice thing is that we can get rid of almost every single bokoblin without even having to move from this spot, which is really funny. How do those bokoblins even get up there? I mean, the better question is, how would they even get down from there? Alright. So, here we go. Get rid of the last of these bokoblins. And there should be one more up here on this arch over here. Oh, on the hand. Oh, and a blue one. Alright. Well, the bokoblins are not the only thing in here. We have two Stelphos that we have to get rid of. Well, luckily with the True Master Sword, these Stelphos shouldn't last too much. Alright. Alright, Hylian Shield. Alright. Hylian Shield! Hylian Shield! Hylian Shield! Why is my nunchuck not working? The greatest problem in this game is that sometimes the nunchuck just decides to not work. Yeah. Anyway. I'll probably just take this one the way it's supposed to be taken. Like, finding out the way it's supposed to be fought. Alright. Corner attack. Vertical slash. Vertical slash. Alright, I guess that was... Yeah, pro tip, fight them the way that they're meant to be fought. Don't go swinging your sword like a madman. But anyway. Alright, there are a couple skulls in here with some hearts. Make sure you grab all of them before you head out to the next room, because this is the worst, probably the hardest part of this entire dungeon. This room right here, the end of the gauntlet. Yes. And in here we have to fight one Stallmaster. Now, this may seem not that bad, but of course we have some zombie bokoblins, or cursed bokoblins. So, yeah. Also, this room is a little bit smaller than the one that we fought the Stallmaster in the Ancient Cistern, so my advice, just target the Stallmaster, take care of him first, and you might coincidentally also take care of the cursed bokoblins at the same time, but the Stallmaster is the focus here, because he's going to dole out the most damage. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but that was cool. I completely avoided the dodge, or completely dodged the attack. Yeah, this battle here is also good with the Hylian Shield, because... Alright, his helmet is gone, just a couple more hits left. Oh, come on, Nunchuck. Please don't make this a recurring thing for the end of this game. Okay, get off me. There we go. It'd be nice to use my shield that I worked so hard to get. And that's that. Alright, so if you made it through that, without dying or losing your shield, then you should be fine for the rest of the dungeon. So, congratulations! The worst is over. Alright. So if we head through this room, we're going to be grabbing the Triforce of Courage. And of course, Fee can't just go without saying anything. Off your sword. If you do that, I calculate high probability that will be shown to the part of the Triforce. Thank you for nothing. Alright. Stabby stab. Now, it might look like that we're going to be taking on a Silent Realm trial, but no, we're not. Like, the first time I appeared in this room, or one of the Triforce rooms, I was so furious. I was like, I better not have to do another Silent Realm. Yeah, that would actually artificially lengthen this dungeon, but it'd actually make this dungeon worse. Really, it would. But now that we have the Triforce of Courage, if you happen to be low on hearts and you don't have any fairies or heart potions, I would suggest just not using them. Or, I mean, if you do have them and you make it to the Triforce of Courage, or any piece of the Triforce, if you grab the Triforce, it will basically replenish all of your hearts like a heart container does, or a piece of heart, so, yeah. Alright, so with one piece of the Triforce, if we go to the control panel here in Dreadfuse's room, we can rotate the rooms one more time, counterclockwise to get the red room down to Dreadfuse's room. Or to spot B1, basically. Yeah, so at this point it's really just shifting blocks around to make the rooms line up. So it's pretty easy. Alright. So the next Triforce is the Triforce of Power. And like the Triforce of Courage was in the Ancient Cistern, just like how Furore's Flame was in the Ancient Cistern, Triforce of Power, like Eldin's Flame, or Din's Flame, was in the Fire Sanctuary. We're going to be going through a room that's basically the Fire Sanctuary. So, yeah, so Nehru's Flame, or the Triforce of Wisdom, is going to be in a desert-themed room, so it's kind of cool like that. Alright, so this room is just antagonized. It's just really slow, and if you don't really know what you're doing, then it might be a little bit tricky, but if you do know what you're doing, it's just a lava maze. That's all it is. And the lava flow is so slow. I don't know why Nintendo decided for it to be this slow. Like, I mean, it's just... I mean, even if you didn't know what you were doing, they gave you ample time to figure it out, really. If you can't figure it out on your first run, then you're probably just not good at solving puzzles. But anyway, you want to hit the switch because we want to get the lava flowing on that side, and clearly this track is going to end. So if we wait till we get about here, we can activate this little cactus water-bearing fruit, whatever you want to call it. I still don't have a name for it. I'm just call it the water plant. We can hop over and get onto this ledge. Or this platform. So we have lava blocking our flow, so we just have to cancel it. And we just have to wait. Waiting is fun. It really is actually really slow. Really, like, they could speed it up a little bit faster, right? I mean, you could... Like, I first thought that, like, maybe you could use your gust bellows to go a little bit faster. No, that doesn't work. Trust me, I tried. I tried numerous times, in numerous directions. It doesn't work, so... I guess in the meantime, you could play with your whip to grab some of these hearts. It's... Oh, really, anything to pass the time would be terrific. Maybe some enemies? Please, some enemies. That would be nice. I could have used my whip, but anyway. So now we have a shortcut back to the beginning of the maze, in case you're really scared of this maze and you can't figure it out. I don't know. Alright, so we want to grab our hook beetle, or tough beetle. I don't think I've ever really called it this tough beetle, even though I've had this beetle upgrade for like half the game. Now, if we go into this alcove, we can get a silver rupee, but that's not why we send out the beetle in the first place. We want to go all the way around the room so that we can activate a switch. that will cause the lava flow to move on this side rather than on the side that we currently are at. Yes. You know, for a puzzle, this really is not that hard of a puzzle. It's just basically using your common sense to figure things out before it actually happens. Alright. Alright, here we have some enemies, thankfully. And that's it. Yeah, I'm really bored right now. This is probably the worst room in this entire dungeon. Like, if they could just make this room a little bit better, this dungeon would be perfect. It really would just be perfect. Oh, but really. And I'm glad that this dungeon actually has some, like, depth to it, complexity, because a lot of the final dungeons in Zelda are just really get here from point A to point B, whereas this is like, figure out how to get to point B without going through point C, or try to figure out how to get from point D to point A. But anyway. Puzzleception, and this is puzzle boredom. I'm basically just waiting. You know what you have to do next? You have to get onto this platform. Really, what am I supposed to talk about here? It's like, I guess it's a nice break from the rest of the end of the game, but anyway. Alright, so now that we're here on this platform, we want to activate the switch one more time, so we can get the lava flow back on the side that it originally was at. And the music doesn't really help that much either. It's pretty slow music, too. Okie dokie. Not at all tired, but this part of the dungeon is just making me really sleepy. Okay. Alright, we're almost there to the end of the dungeon. I mean, the end of the room. We still have a little bit left for the dungeon to be over, but anyway. Alright. Okay, let's get rid of these curse spewns. I'm so bored I can't even think right. Alright, I'm gonna get ya. I'm gonna get ya. Eventually, I'm gonna get ya. I got you. Okay. Alright, so here you want to get your claw shouts out. Claw shouts. Claw shout! Yeah, good thing I got my claw shouts out. Yeah, it really helps me out. But anyway, that shortcut basically gets you to the next room, but that room's not really connected to anything, so we just want to get our Triforce of power. Give me the power. The power to make this dungeon room much faster than what it is. You know, once Link collects a Triforce, that should just be his wish. He should be like, you know, that room in Skykeep, they should just make the lava flow faster. What a waste of a wish that would be. Just imagine how upset Fee would be. She'd be like, Master, you're an idiot. And then Link's like, you know what? You're not the one who had to go through this room. Yeah. Anyway, so we have 2 pieces of the Triforce, and there's only 1 left. Because we can count to 3. 1, 2, 3. It's like ABC. Alright. So up here, at the top of the room, if we activate the switch, we can open the way back to the beginning of the room. So we can get back to Dreadfuse's room. Yeah. Right. So though we had to switch the rooms around to get to the Triforce of Courage and Power, that was pretty easy. You're going to have to think a little bit more creatively to get to the Triforce of Wisdom. Because unfortunately the entrance to that room is the opposite direction of where we actually need to go. So in order to do this, we have to move the rooms around so that B3... Is it B3? One second, let me check my sheet. Yeah. So we have to make it so that this room that's currently at B3 makes it to B1. So we're just going to be moving counterclockwise one more time. Yeah, you may not see it right now how this is going to all work out, but trust me it is. And when it finally works out, you're going to be pretty happy. It's a very elegant solution. You know, normally I hate these block sliding puzzles. I absolutely hate them. And I mean, I still hate this, but it's still pretty fun. Anyway, as you can clearly see, we have made a path for ourselves to the Triforce of Wisdom. Yeah, coming up with this method took me so long. but I'm glad I came up with it, because I would rather just spend like 40-50 minutes in here rather than doing like the whole 2-hour thing. Just trying to figure out how to get through this place. Yeah, that would be pretty boring for you guys. Just like sitting here watching me be like, what room do I move? Alright, so if we go back all the way through this room, yeah, all that work to just basically run through a room in like 5 seconds. And here we are, the first room that we came in from. Alright, let's quickly save. Because I have no idea how I'm going to split up these parts. I just might make this like 3 parts or 2 parts, I really don't know. I find that the saves are like the easiest way to like make a cut somehow when editing. Anyway, so here we are, the final room. The desert. Master, look over that way. I see it, V, thank you. I have identified the design on the floor as the marked Nehru. Yes, here it is, the final piece of the Triforce. And, to end it all off, we're gonna have another time shift orb puzzle! Yay! It's kind of sad that we have one more time shift orb puzzle, and unfortunately this is a pretty easy one. So, yeah, it's nothing like the Pirate Stronghold. Or the one to get to the Thunder Dragon, but... Yeah, the thing I never noticed is that the names of the Thunder Dragon actually correlate to the names of the region. So, Faron Woods is named after Faron the Water Dragon, and Eldin Volcano is named after Eldin the Fire Dragon, and Lanayru Desert is named after Lanayru the Thunder Dragon. So, I guess it's something that I never noticed before. It's a cool detail. I mean, they never really refer to the dragons by their actual names. I think they might have referred to Faron, like, once, but... Don't deactivate. Please, let me kill you. So I can collect my 20 rupees. Because even at this point in the game, I still like collecting money. Yeah. Alright, so with the time shift orb, we can bring it over here, get rid of these bokoblins. Just because we can. Now, what we want to do, what we actually need to do, is that if we head over here, we can set the time shift orb down here on this conspicuous-looking shape on the ground. Yeah, really, it's pretty obvious what you have to do there. And if we go up here to where we collected the first time, where we first collected the time shift orb, slowly and steadily we're making our way up there. Alright. We can shoot an arrow at the switch at the far end of the room. I guess this puzzle has to make you think a little bit outside of the box, but it's really all the same stuff that we've been doing throughout the entire game. Alright, so let's go grab that time shift orb one more time. And head through the room that we just unlocked. The grassy knoll. Alright, there are some bokoblins here, I'm sure that. Yep, there they are. Oh, Deku Babas. Or, yeah, Deku Babas. Alright. Alright. I like saying that. Okay. There should be a Quadra Baba here. Fail. Okay. So we bring the time shift orb over here and we step on this switch. We can unlock the next switch that we have to shoot to, but unfortunately, the fan is moving if we bring the orb over to it. So there we are. But now, we have another problem. There's a huge rock blocking the way, so now we have to move the orb further away so that we can get rid of the rock. I get a rock in my way. Ugh. You know, I really don't sound all that thrilled, but I really love this dungeon. It's just I need to think about it. Okay. And now we have opened the way to the room that will lead to the Triforce. Alright. There's still a little bit left to the puzzle, but it's really not that much. Okay. So now we need to go back up to where we grabbed the time shift orb from. Yeah. It's a favorite location, isn't it? Alright, and with the time shift orb, we want to platform across this rock formation. Oh, that Bakugan finally died. Okay, now if we drop the time shift orb here, I believe this will get rid of the barbed wire, right? Yeah, it does. Okay. So let's get out the claw shots and claw shot over. Oh, it didn't. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. So the time shift orb being up here won't do anything, so if you just toss it down there, make sure you toss it in that exact location, really. Or in close to that vicinity. We will be able to remove the barbed wire. Yes. And now we can make our way to the Triforce of Wisdom. After this point, there is no return, so make sure you're ready. Okay. Cool thing to note is that you can actually run under the Triforce. I wanted to show this off in the earlier rooms, but yeah. So, psych! Haha! Alright, let's just grab it for real. Let's grab it for realsies. I accidentally figured that out. I didn't really know that was possible, but like, I accidentally moved my nunchuck and I ran right underneath it, and I was like, what? Yeah. Apparently it has a really small hit radius. Like, I mean by small, it means like you actually have to literally hit the Triforce. But now that we have the complete Triforce, we are going to be taken out of the dungeon immediately and treated to a nice cutscene, so I'm just going to be quiet once the cutscene starts. If it can finally load. Alright, there we go.